Cardi B has officially broken the internet again, and this time it's chaos everywhere. What started as a small shady comment about music sales has now turned into one of the messiest celebrity feuds in a long time. It all began when a certain artist, let's call her C, decided to mock Cardi's album numbers. She laughed about how, despite all the hype, Cardi's latest project still didn't outsell Nicki Minaj. But C didn't stop there. She went all in, proudly declaring her loyalty to Nicki and taking shots at Cardi's long-standing rivalry with her. That one comment was enough to set Cardi off. But instead of responding with her usual sarcastic tweets or funny clapbacks, she went straight for the jugular. Cardi dropped a shocking claim. She said that C had been involved with her ex-husband, Offset, and hinted that she had proof in the form of a private tape. According to Cardi, this wasn't just gossip. She implied the receipts were real. Now, this wasn't your usual rap beef. This was personal. A mix of betrayal, jealousy, and heartbreak, all spilling out in front of millions of people. And just when fans thought it couldn't get worse, Nicki Minaj herself stepped into the drama. Instead of staying out of it, she publicly showed support for C, adding even more fuel to the fire. Fans could barely keep up as timelines flooded with posts, reactions, and endless speculation. C calling Nicki her best friend didn't help either. It only made things messier, because behind the scenes, people were already whispering that C and Offset had been involved while he was still married to Cardi. This rumor had been floating around for years, but there was never solid evidence. Cardi used to deny it completely, calling it nothing more than nasty gossip. But now, she's done protecting anyone. With C shading her and siding with Nicki, Cardi decided it was time to spill what she'd been holding back. On top of that, things between Cardi and Offset haven't exactly been peaceful. Their divorce has been tense, and Offset's behavior has made everything more dramatic. Between his antics and C's sudden loyalty to Nicki, Cardi seems to have reached her breaking point, and she's doing it all while pregnant, which makes the stress even worse. Now, what's surprising is that C usually tries to stay away from messy internet drama. She's known for keeping things classy and quiet, but this time she slipped. Out of nowhere, she posted a picture on Instagram that sent everyone into detective mode. The photo showed a man who looked a lot like Offset, and fans instantly noticed. Some argued it was just an old photo of her and Quavo, but the resemblance was too close for comfort. To make things worse, she captioned it "post-fight night," which fans took as a sneaky dig at Cardi. She deleted the post not long after, but the damage was already done. The timing was terrible. She posted it right when Cardi and Nicki were arguing online. Everyone connected the dots and social media exploded. Cardi definitely caught the shade because soon after she fired back. She tweeted, "You must have missed me, huh? Crazy. Now kiss my feet." That line alone sent the internet spinning. But Cardi didn't stop there. She also retweeted a fan's post that said, "Tell her make a hit. She's in the studio just wasting time." Everyone knew that was aimed directly at C, especially since her recent songs haven't been performing well. And if that wasn't enough, reports are now saying Cardi is ready to confirm something huge. That C's affair with Offset was the real reason the Migos broke up. That revelation is wild because Cardi had always denied it before. But looking back, fans say it all makes sense now. When Migos split up, Offset tried to stay quiet and respectful, but Quavo kept dropping hints in interviews. He'd throw little jabs that made it clear there was bad blood, and even Takeoff seemed caught in the middle of it all. One interview in particular stood out, where Quavo made comments that fans later connected to C and the whole messy situation. So here we are, Cardi versus C, Nicki stepping in, Offset caught in the center, and fans dissecting every post, lyric, and tweet. It's no longer just about music, it's personal. It's betrayal, loyalty, and heartbreak playing out online for the entire world to see. And with all the new tension, one thing's for sure. This feud is far from over.
Ain't nothing gonna change, so.
We just stand on loyalty, you know what I mean? We stand on real deal loyalty. And, you know, sometimes that shit ain't displayed. And this ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This got something to do with the three brothers. And shit, that is what it is. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tell.
Takeoff shared his honest thoughts when asked about the situation.
The only time to tell, but you know, we always family now. Ain't nothing gonna change.
When Takeoff was alive, Everyone knew he was loyal to Quavo no matter what. He stood by him through every argument, misunderstanding, and rumor. But even though he tried to stay neutral, you could tell that all the drama was weighing on him. Takeoff always had a calm energy. He didn't like to argue or make things worse. Even with all the tension between Quavo and Offset, he still tried to keep things peaceful. When the Migos split up, fans went into a frenzy trying to figure out what happened. Some people said Offset wanted out of their label quality control, while others claimed it was about money. But Quavo made it clear it had nothing to do with contracts or checks. It was about loyalty. That's when fans started to believe that the rumors about Offset and Saweetie might actually be true. The whole mess started when Cardi B was going back and forth online with blogger sleaze Mirage. During the argument, Mirage brought up a shocking claim that Offset had allegedly slept with Saweetie. Mirage said something like, "Do you really want to talk about husbands?" That one comment instantly set off alarms. Cardi didn't waste a second responding. She called it all lies, saying, "No, baby. You're making things up. You're dragging women into stuff with no proof. No blogger ever said this before." Say what you want about Cardi, but she's always tried to hold her marriage together. Through all the ups and downs, she kept defending Offset. But the truth is, she couldn't keep the story about Offset and Saweetie buried forever. Things really exploded when Quavo and Takeoff dropped their song Messy. In one verse, Quavo rapped, "Be asterisk 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 F asterisk 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 ed my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the gang, you should have said it, we would have blessed it." Those lyrics sounded like a direct reference to the situation, and fans didn't need a dictionary to decode it. To make things worse, in the music video, Quavo even recreated their infamous elevator fight, the same one everyone had been talking about for months. That was all the confirmation fans needed. Even though Cardi didn't say much publicly after that, word got around that she might have quietly gotten her revenge. She's not known for staying silent when it comes to women linked to Offset. Remember, she's had serious clashes in the past, some of which nearly landed her in legal trouble. People still talk about the time she was accused of sending people after Jade and her sister because of Offset's alleged cheating. Then there was her public feud with Cuban Doll over another rumor. Sources claim that Saweetie eventually got caught in that same web of tension. According to insiders, Cardi worked behind the scenes to get Saweetie blacklisted from certain collaborations. Some even said Cardi tried to block her from events and projects, cutting into her bag. If those claims are true, it could explain why Saweetie started throwing subtle shade, especially when she made comments about Cardi not outselling Nicki Minaj.
Nicki or Cardi B? Yeah, me, yo. This is mad. I'm taking a shot when he's sitting there laughing shit.
I'm gonna say Nicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say the same thing though. It's crazy.
So you said Nick.
Yeah.
So being that y'all agree, that's a shot. They gotta take a shot.
When Inouye asked Quavo and Takeoff that infamous question about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, everyone knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't just asking a random question, he was stirring the pot. The long, messy history between Nicki and Cardi has been public for years, and that single question was like throwing gasoline on a fire. Takeoff, as usual, tried to stay calm and away from the drama. That was always his way. He was chill, respectful, and didn't like messy business. But Quavo, he couldn't resist the bait. He jumped right in. And honestly, no one was surprised. At that time, Quavo and Cardi weren't on great terms, so there was no chance he was going to pick her side over Nicki's. Even if deep down he had no real issue with Cardi, he wasn't about to say that out loud on Drink Champs. And that's the thing about Drink Champs, that show feeds off controversy. It's all about big personalities, wild confessions, and moments that get people talking. So of course Inouye brought up Nicki and Cardi's beef. That's what keeps fans watching. But when Quavo picked Nicki over Cardi, people could tell there was more behind that answer. He wasn't being genuine, he was being shady. Everyone knows Nicki isn't exactly close with the Migos anymore. There's no real friendship there. So for Quavo to act like they were all cool, that was clearly a way to poke at Cardi. It didn't take long for Nicki to respond either. She jumped online and threw her own shade, taking shots not just at Cardi but at Quavo too. She tweeted, "Quavo, was it worth it, dummy? No career Takeoff gone. Remember when you told me you were the Beyoncé of the group? Then she added, pay Offset his alimony Barney B. The whole internet went crazy after that one. But let's bring it back to Saweetie for a second because she's been a quiet part of this story that suddenly got a lot louder. Normally, Saweetie keeps things classy. She minds her own business, doesn't usually get involved in beefs, and focuses on her brand. But when you're tied up in drama this deep, it's hard to stay completely innocent. Saweetie can be sneaky with her shade. She doesn't throw obvious punches, but when she does, people eventually notice. Remember that fight night picture she posted? That wasn't the first time she'd been accused of shading Cardi. There was another moment that got people talking. When unedited photos of Cardi from the Vanity Fair Oscars party went viral. The pictures showed her looking a little different from her Instagram posts, and fans immediately accused her of heavy Photoshop use. The internet can be cruel, and people started calling her fake and saying her online image wasn't real. And just when it couldn't get worse, Nicki Minaj jumped in on Twitter with the comment, "Clock that tea." Everyone understood what that meant. It was a clear dig at Cardi while she was already getting dragged online. Nicki didn't stop there. She followed it up with another shady tweet saying, "Photoshop them bars." It was petty, but it got attention. Then Saweetie decided to add her own twist to the drama. She posted new, professionally edited photos of herself and captioned them, "She don't need no edits." The timing couldn't have been more perfect, or more messy. Cardi was already dealing with online hate, and here comes Saweetie looking flawless and throwing subtle shade. Fans caught it immediately. One person commented, "Messing with somebody's husband and clowning them with your beauty? That's wild. She's a true barb." Others said Saweetie cleared Cardi without even saying her name. Now we all know Cardi doesn't miss a thing. She's quick to catch subs and even quicker to respond. She tweeted not long after, "I'm not as mean as I could be, and people should be grateful for that." That one line said it all. She was clearly warning people to stop playing with her. But Saweetie's timing and attitude made things worse, especially since she was cozying up to Nicki's side during one of Cardi's worst public weeks. Then things took an even darker turn. Reports began spreading that Cardi allegedly had private tapes of Saweetie and Offset together, tapes from back when Cardi and Offset were still married. According to several blogs, Cardi is now threatening to leak those videos if either Offset or Saweetie come for her again. Knowing how fiery and emotional Cardi can be, people actually believe she might do it. Fans are now speculating that she's holding onto those videos like ammunition, waiting for the perfect time to strike back. At this point, the whole situation has gone far beyond music. What started as a petty argument over album sales has exploded into a full-blown soap opera, complete with betrayal, rumors, revenge, and receipts. We've gone from rap verses to blackballing allegations, from shady posts to possible scandal tapes. Everyone's involved: Saweetie, Offset, Quavo, Nicki, and of course Cardi. Even Takeoff, who never liked drama, got pulled into it by association. Fans are glued to their screens, watching every tweet, every post, every lyric for hidden messages. Social media has turned into a detective board of theories and timelines. And honestly, nobody's safe anymore. Every move they make gets picked apart, every silence feels suspicious, and every emoji becomes evidence.